What's up, everybody? This is Roger, Working Man Cigars, and tonight I'll be smoking the Ghurka Year of the Dragon. Look at this thing. It is a very, very nice looking cigar. I mean, I don't look into this stuff that much. Like, I don't care about this stuff that much to be like, well, this is a super veiny cigar, but it's a hell of a veiny cigar. I know sometimes there's some wrappers that are so thin and so snug on the cigar that you could see like the binder, the filler all underneath, and they're like very hard packed. This one's not like that, but it's still like, it's a nice looking wrapper. The band is cool. I mean, it's a cool looking cigar. It's a very cool looking cigar. So I'm interested in smoking it. Let's see how it goes. All right, so this one is going to be a short review, I think, because I don't have enough memory on my memory card. So it's going to be a short review no matter what, because it has to be short. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I was actually really interested to smoke the cigar because I like everybody else is influenced by others, right? Some people do not care at all what other people say. And then some people do, right? Some people have bias in that they like to follow certain people or certain companies. And you can like a cigar based off the company if you love that company, or based off like people who are saying that it's a good cigar or a good brand because you respect their opinion. And then there's the people who think they don't fall into that category, but they do. Like people who are like, oh, I'm an individual thinker. I don't get influenced by anybody. But like, then they really do. So I at least admit it. I do get pretty heavily influenced by others. I didn't like Ghurka. I've never smoked a Ghurka, but I didn't like it strictly because of so many negative things that I had heard. And I told Matt, Cigar Hound Dog, I'm like, damn, bro, if Ghurka ends up having a good quarter, first few quarters, it's like thanks to you starting it a few months ago when you smoked that Seller's Reserve, and ever since then I've gotten a few messages on Instagram where people are like, have you smoked this Ghurka? And it's the Ghurka that Matt reviewed. So yeah, like I thought that was funny. But this cigar actually was reviewed by Eric, Smoke One if you have one, and Tony the Soy Sauce Assassin. And if you guys know them, they are very picky, very bougie taste. No, that's not true. Like the people say that, but if you look at some of the cigars that are more budget cigars, they have given them good ratings. So it's not just that it has to be expensive. But they smoked the cigar and they really, really loved it, right? They loved it. So I thought it was going to be a great cigar right off the bat. I was excited. I ordered a few. Then Peter, the cigar collector, smoked it and he gave it a B rating. So it's like, okay, so it kind of brought it down to my mind a little bit. So I'm very interested in seeing how this goes. Again, this is not a review, you guys. This is an overview. I'm just smoking. You're just following along. So at the end, if I didn't tell you the tasting notes and like the quality and all this stuff, it's just like, I'm sorry. So Eric and Smoke One We Haven't and Tony, the Soy Sauce Assassin, made great reviews on this cigar. Matt, Cigar Hound Dog, will have a review out on the cigar soon. So you want a good, legit review, watch their videos because they're good at what they do, man. Right now, oh, well, that one was pretty nice. I was going to say, up to this point, I'm just getting tobacco tasting smoke. But that last one had a little bit of like a tiny tinge of like dried fruit sweetness. Like, so that was nice. Well, I'm going to smoke this down, you guys. And again, I'm going to try to make this one short. Hopefully I can follow through on that and we'll see. But I'll check back in a little bit. All right, so getting into the cigar here so far. Just getting started off a little bit. Burr line has been okay, but the ash, look at that thing. It's fucking, it's like blowing up here. Not that it matters, man, right? Like, I've told you guys before, I get really happy when I get like a nice stacked ash and a nice crisp burn line, and you could see a clear line between like the ash and then boom, like black thick line and then the cigar. It's kind of weird, right? Why do we care about that shit? I don't know. I just like it when I do have it. But like if this thing tasted amazing, case in point, the the Knuckle Sandwich Chef's Edition Maduro, that cigar burned like crap, man. I did not care because it was so good. It tasted so nice and it was such a flavorful cigar. I did not care. This one so far, man, I'm not getting anything much out of it but like tobacco tasting. Tobacco notes, tobacco tasting, tastes like smoke, that's it. I mean, I'm being a little bit harsh, right? Because I'm getting a little bit of Felipe from Cigar Side Chats will say bready notes, right? And I'm always like, what's a bready note? Dude, bready notes sound awesome. But I don't get bready notes, like they don't click. But this is kind of what I think of a bready note is when I get this particular taste, which it's a nice, like very flavor, very minimal, like not very strong, not very present, but it's there. And it's maybe, maybe bready. Maybe that's the word. Yeah, I'm getting more of that right now. Okay, it's getting a little bit better. See, what happens is when I got the camera on, I feel like I'm paying a little bit more attention. And I think you kind of have to pay close attention when you're smoking this cigar, if you want to taste everything from it. Which, if you guys are saying, well, duh, you're supposed to do that. That's not true. That's not how I usually smoke cigars when I'm just not doing, like, when I'm not recording. I could be on my phone, I could be watching a movie and when a cigar is very good, you don't have to pay attention to it. It just tastes nice. The retrohale is like a nice, you'll retrohale and you're like, nice retrohale. Oh shit, nice. Oh dang, that's a new, it's changing a little bit now. That happens too, right? So that's great when that happens. And this one, I'm paying attention to it and it actually is a little bit better than I thought. But again, I have to focus to get that. It's very mild though, very mild. It's hard to pick up notes with this thing, but all right, I'll keep smoking it down and then I'll check back in with you guys in a bit. All right, so here we are with the Dragon. Burn has been pretty good. Ash has been flaky since the get-go. Again, like I said, I don't care about that, but not really getting much from this cigar. Did not really enjoy it too much. Don't get me wrong, it was okay. But maybe I was expecting a little bit too much just because I know guys that I really like respect their opinion really liked it. But I just don't like it too much. And I didn't think it was that good. You know what I think is weird though? Is how some people will jump on somebody else's opinion so much. Now keep in mind that I do this, okay? So I think it's weird that I do this. I'm talking about myself here. Well, sometimes I'll do it in one way. I only do it up, I never do it down, right? So you will get some guys, for example, if they, here, I'll give you an example. Like, let's say, I'll tell you how I do it. I'll tell you what I don't like. What I think is weird that people do is like, if you kind of have been looking at this cigar, and you kind of want to try it, but then Peter, right, the Cigar Collective, somebody influential like that, like their Instagram post, they'll smoke cigar and not like it. So then I can see how somebody might say, well, I don't want to try it now because somebody I respect does not like it. And I usually match up with them, so I'm not going to like it. But then there's people who go all out. It's like, that cigar sucks, man. That cigar is not good. That cigar is a trash cigar. Or like, oh, dude, that cigar sucks. Like, you didn't like it? Like, well, I never smoked it, but Peter didn't like it, or this guy didn't like it. And it's like, bro, you got to try it yourself, man, you know? And, or if you don't try it, you at least can't bash it, right? You shouldn't. Well, what do I care? You do what you want. But like, the way that I do it is I do it up. And that's a bad thing too. It's weird too. Sometimes I sent so many cigars to Eric and so many cigars to Peter, Eric, Tony. And I'm like, that's a great cigar. It's a really good cigar. And they're like, oh yeah, you liked it? It's like, I never smoked it, but Hound Dog liked it, or DJ liked it, or Master Ash liked it, or Peter liked it, or Cigar Collective liked it. You know, I send them cigars and it's like, it's a really good cigar. Never had it, but I've heard it's great. That's kind of weird too. Because how many times have you guys smoked a cigar, not liked it, smoked it like again because you bought a 2-pack, you smoke it again maybe another time, and then you do like it, and then you're like, oh, it must have been the RH, oh, it must have been the vibe, it must have been, you know, something else like that, something else that played a role. I know for a fact, for me, when I smoke outside, I enjoy smoking more than when I smoke indoors. So whenever I smoke outside, like, I don't know if it's because my senses are opened up or I'm smelling more things that the cigars just taste better, but that normally happens. Not always, but normally. And there's so many variables that go into it that sometimes there could be like a bad batch. There could be whoever rolled this one maybe didn't do a good job. There's always things like that. So I always say this cigar is kind of pricey, $25. So if that's like above your comfortability to possibly smoke a cigar that's not that good, then I would say don't try it. But if you've been wanting to try it, and for you the budget is that $25 is not that bad for you, it's like, okay, cool, then I would still try it. I hope I don't deter anybody from trying any cigars. Because again, you're getting people like Tony and Eric that they smoke a lot of things, a lot of great cigars, a lot of high-end cigars, a lot of cheap cigars. They smoke a lot of everything, and if they say a cigar is good, it's like, it's worth a try. So somebody like me says, I don't really like it, that shouldn't matter too much, right? So, and I'm not trying to say it was a bad cigar. I really think I might have built it up too much in my head. I mean, yeah, it's not a bad cigar. It's a good cigar. It's just not great. But let's smoke it down a little bit more, and then I'll check back in here in a bit, all right? All right, guys, here we are winding down on this Year of the Dragon, Ghurka Year of the Dragon. It actually got better towards the end a little bit, which is weird for me. Usually cigars don't get better. They normally get more bitter and more, I don't know, more pungent. But this one, I think because for me it was a bit muted towards the end, it kind of, the flavors kind of amped up a little bit. It's still not an amazing cigar, right? But I thought it was pretty good towards the end, more towards the end. But the stigma of like a Ghurka, being a Ghurka, and it's going to be a bad cigar because it's a Ghurka. If I were to smoke this cigar on the unbanded, I would not have known like, this tastes horrible, this is bad, this is a Ghurka. You know, that wouldn't have happened. So we got to keep our minds open, and if you want, right? I always say this stuff. I hate speaking in absolutes, like I've mentioned. If you like something, you know, no cigar should be ruled out. But if you like hate a brand because of some other reasons, you know, then Peter doesn't like certain brands, and when he told me why, because they had an interaction with them this or an interaction with another manufacturer he likes, it's like, okay, cool, man. I see your point of view, and yeah, then you have your reason to not want to mess with the cigar, and that's cool. But just because other people talk it down, it shouldn't be something you don't touch, but it's up to you. Mentioning Unbanded though, if you guys have not checked out Cigars Unbanded, I highly recommend you check it out. And I'm not trying to be biased and say check it out, it's a great show, but I freaking think it's a fun show, man. I am biased because I'm on the show. I freaking love shooting those lives, right? Yesterday myself, Felipe, and Peter, the Cigars Unbanded group, we were on the New Wave, the Infamous show. I gotta stop saying the New Wave, on the Infamous live stream. And it was cool, man. The Infamous live stream is another one that you could sit around, smoke a cigar, you're talking in the chat, super active. I mean, it's not like you're there, because it's like saying, oh, it's like you're smoking a cigar with us. But it feels pretty damn close sometimes if the chat is active. Same thing with the Shadow Smokers Legion with their lives that they do, and they do like 3 of them a week. Those ones you jump on, you're in the chat, you know people that you're talking to. And just like the Infamous live, when I'm in the chat and I get to talk to a bunch of you guys, because a bunch of you guys that watch my stuff also watch the live streams, and we're able to talk and chat and, you know, bullshit. It's cool, man. It's fun. So again, if you have not watched one of ours, the Cigars Unbanded, then I would recommend checking it out, because I think it's fun. I think it's cool. And so it's usually every Thursday unless we announce it a different day, and it's at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So whatever time that is for you guys, but 6 p.m. California time. And we have some people that watch it like at 2 a.m. in their time, man. It's crazy, man. We have some of you guys are hella cool, man. Some people are super cool staying up, watching the live. Either they're working or driving or smoking a cigar with us. It's fucking cool. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out, man. Jump on one of the lives with us one day. Follow along, talk in the chat, talk to the other guys, bullshit around, and it's cool, man. It's pretty much it, you guys. That's all I got. It was a good cigar. If it's something that it's piqued your interest and you've been wanting to try, and you can get over the stigma of like, oh, it's a Ghurka, then go ahead and try it, man. You might be surprised. You might be proven right that you hate this cigar, this brand, and you don't like it, and you might be surprised. So you won't know till you give it a shot. So, alrighty, thanks guys. See you on the next one.